So in that,
Oh, c'est un baguette là. Okay.
well, I mean, well, okay. Well, speaking of that, I don't know if you've caught wind, but I'll bring this to you. I don't know if you have any opinions. Um,
I will have one.
do
I
you have
promise you.
do you have opinions on shawarma?
I it's already made its way to me.
Okay, has it? Good, good, good.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, so Montreal shawarma is excellent because we have a lot of Lebanese immigrants. Just straight
Hmm.
up. There's a Lebanese population in Montreal that's quite high.
All right.
Therefore, they make the good shawarma. Like
Let
period. That is like the end of that discussion.
we begin with the conclusion then. So for those who are catching up, this is very important. This is very crucial, important news. Shit is popping off between Ottawa and Montreal right now.
Oh, Ottawa can go fuck itself.
We are at arms, and it's quite simple. There was a game. There was a that took place, I guess, about a week or so ago in the Professional Women's Hockey League between the Ottawa Charge and the Montreal Victoire, right? And in the stands of said game, where tensions were already flying high, people are watching, playing. Someone held up a sign from Ottawa, and that sign read the following text: Montreal shawarma is mid.
Oh, that's so fucking good.
How
I love
fucking dare
holding
you.
up a sign at an event with controversial, like you see like wrestling shows that just some guy in the fucking nosebleeds has like FF8 was the best one.
Yeah, yeah.
And that was Ben Starr probably.
Push rage. Classic. And then confusing people. So someone had the audacity, someone had the gumption to hold up a sign that said Montreal shawarma is mid, and we are proud of our bagels, we are proud of our smoked meat, but motherfucker, shawarma here is fire. It is amazing, right?
It's
crazy.
It's such a stupid conversation because, like, no matter what region you are in the world, okay, are we talking about a cultural or ethnic food? Okay, let's just scale the quality alongside the per capita population metrics and just be completely done with it.
But here's what
if you're gonna tell me that like fucking like Alberta has better Chinese food than British Columbia, you're a fucking stupid idiot. Are you fucking dumb?
Okay.
Are you an idiot moron?
But here's the interesting part, because after this came up and I went, Reggie, you lived in Ottawa for a bit. What the fuck is this on about? And he's like, I don't know. And I was like, wait, what? Why are you taking a pause here, right? And that led to me doing a little bit of investigative journalism, so to speak. Games and shawarma journalist.
No, just games journalism. Nah, food journalism. Yeah.
On the beat. I put my little hat on with the little press ticket, and I went and I looked into the situation. And here's what I found out. If you're talking about the bit about the population sizes and such, right? Ottawa is a small little. It's the capital, but it's one of those places.
It is the capital,
but it's one of those
very pretty.
But it's one of those cities. The way I describe it is Spider-Man could not swing. He would not have anywhere to go. He would be on foot. It would be rough, right? It is what it is. We over here have about twice the Lebanese population size of Ottawa. And what that has led to is when folks are opening up restaurants here, they're opening up shawarma joints, but they're also opening up traditional Lebanese cuisine places. And you have a lot of options because you're serving millions of people. You have a large population and different, things to hit on. But with a smaller group of people, you kind of just got to play the hits, right?
Yeah.
So sticking to just shawarma in Ottawa is the only real business move, because you're like, we're going to go with what most people in a smaller place are going to want to hit, which is that one quick wrap. It's the kind of the fast food takeaway bit,
Yeah.
But what that means is, even though they're the self-proclaimed shawarma capital of Canada,
are you fucking serious?
Self-proclaimed.
Oh my God.
But what that means is that they have been standing on just the shawarma game for a couple decades now. So they're getting a little big for their britches, right? They're starting to get a little cocky about it, because they're like, we've just been working on this one thing, not the rest of it. And we're claiming, greatness, and we're claiming to be the peak of it in Canada, right? So there's over 200 shawarma places there apparently. And everybody's coming at it, coming hot. You're coming in there saying that Montreal shawarma is mid, as if Boustan does not exist right there on
dude, Paige looks at me like I'm crazy, the first thing I do when I go home is fucking ring up DoorDash, like, I gotta get some fucking boustin. And then she's like, really? Boustin again? And then it comes in, and then she's like, give me some of that.
So
Give me some of that.
right?
Give me some of that right now.
And
give me some of that.
And the potatoes and the garlic potatoes with the sauce, right on the side there. Amazing. So the thing is that now this has spread out into ways, because you do have that, and they have expanded, and they have other boustins, which, to be fair, are not as good as the original OG place.
It's the one next to fucking Geek and Cordia.
Yes, exactly. The Crescent one.
Come on.
But like,
everything on Crescent's better than everything else is not on fucking
But when
Crescent.
you talk about just like tons of random places like opening up as well, there's names like Amir is a place you can go in and get a shawarma, and they're usually like but it's they've spread out quite a bit. Basha is another place that's like but there's a bunch of them, you know what I mean? They're around, but like if you're
you could do way fucking worse than going to Amir for lunch.
That's what but it's just, if you're gonna get one, and if you're gonna talk about what the best in town is to offer what we've got, there's a couple places around that are not the walking into like the the McDonald's kind of thing off the corner, that you're gonna get a much better result in. For example, because I've like, Amir is the kind of place where they might do, like, here's where you fucked up is if you get a shawarma and they put lettuce in it and then they heat the lettuce up. Right? No. That's madness. That's insanity. Get the fuck out. Shut them down. Go. Leave.
Get out.
You're not allowed.
Get out. I don't want this anymore.
And that has happened before. But that's worse than mid. That's a crime. However, the places that like have since come pop up here, we've got places Shawarmas with a Z opened up. There's Moods.
Shut up. Oh
right?
My God.
There's a couple different places that are like newer and have been around for a couple of years and set up shop. One place that's been crushing it that is currently being hailed potentially as the new king over here is Shawarma Original, which I then proceeded to get a couple of bites of to make sure to remind Reggie where his allegiances lie, right? And they do it with the thinner, like the sage bread, so it's not pita and it's crispy, and you got that thick. You're looking at it, and like the meat to wrap ratio is massive. The toppings and sauces are on the outside, right? Doing good stuff. And the noises and faces he made were clearly like, you need to remember where you live and where your house is, sir. How dare you hesitate talking about Ottawa and what they got. So we did a little of that, and I had some, and it confirmed that this is phenomenal shawarma from Original. But what I then discovered was there's a place that Ottawa kind of claims as their big top joint, which is Dunya, is shawarma, and they have recently expanded, and as of last September, they opened up a Montreal expansion.
Okay. So we're going to have a direct competition
so
here.
Now I'm curious. I'm like, now I might need to go kick a door down and politely order a shawarma and see how it tastes.
I think there's actually a way more interesting discussion to be had here, which also surfaced its way to me via a certain poll that you took about food locations.
I don't ever take polls. So when those things happen, that's just chat and mods doing.
Oh, that
thing.
Really?
I don't even.
Was your stance not that the best places in town denote the overall quality of like a place's food, or the median?
So yeah, so that was a part of it. Yeah, because like I'm looking at Chatterino, and like when a poll pops up, it doesn't pop up there. So I'm like, I don't.
Yeah, no,
I have no idea what the polls say.
You'll argue amongst yourselves, I guess.
But that being said, yes, I disagree on the idea that the median should be called in here, but it is like the difference between a review of a game versus a buyer's guide suggestion, right? Should the price be included? Is this a decision where you're trying to, if someone wants to find out, should I buy this, versus just judging it as the art for what it was, right?
I don't know. Like I'm of the opinion that when people go to a town, like most people don't actually do any research whatsoever. They just wander around to eat things.
I don't know if they do or don't. I don't know. Maybe I think you do some, but you do research into like, let me go check out the activity place, like the Biodome or something, and then you go, all right, we'll just eat anywhere around it. Maybe that's a thing, right? I definitely care about looking stuff up and seeing what's around, and especially if there's places that are worth going to that are like great, or like I'm only going to get one shot at. I do check out what the food situation is, and I want to go there. So to me, I'm like, I don't the median of like, oh, if you walked in like off the street to a random place is such a toss up, because you can walk into a horrible place with the worst shit ever with heated lettuce and fucking, but you know what I mean? Like whatever.
I tell you what, man, there is a core difference here depending on the person, right?
I guess so.
And so me and Paige used to do like a bunch of food research when we're, out and about and whatnot. And you know what changed that? I'm only going to walk this stroller 2 blocks.
Okay, I get that. Yeah, there's a change to the situation.
The food scenario is the 2 blocks from my fucking feet right now.
That and so like as as someone who's gonna be like, yo, what does the city got going? I'm gonna be like, yeah, let's hit up the spots that you stand on, that you claim are like why you should come here and what you should check out. If it's I guess, yeah, I can understand if you're looking for something that you're just like, I never want to plan where I'm going and I just want to walk in and like roll the dice. I just think that even in a city where like where there's enough good quality places, there's always going to be bad businesses that you can walk into in any populated area that's going to be terrible food, right? Like I just feel that like the game of rolling averages in a way is like you're still experiencing, so there's so many chances of just getting something awful that I'm like, I don't even want to play that game. Why even I'm just not interested in that whatsoever. So to me, it's about like, if you say, yo, we got the best slice, if you say we got the best fucking chowder, you got the whatever, you hit up bodega sandwiches or whatever. Every city's got their own things. I'm just kind of like, what are the names you stand on, and like, where should I go check these out, and what's worth visiting? And so when it comes down to it, if you're going to talk about like Montreal shawarma versus Ottawa shawarma, I'm like, what do you bring into the table, right? My analogy was the Olympic team that we get together to represent the country is not a bunch of random people. Like, you don't randomly grab your population and go out and play the game. You grab,
that'd be awesome,
right?
That'd be so great. That would be so awesome.
The American fucking all-star team was crushing it with NBA stars, like that's how they do that. You represent your city, your country with the talent,
That would be I would see every hockey game in a season if it was like 20 random people picked from Moosehead versus 20 random people picked from Hamilton.
So what's funny is that like when it comes to boxing, there's a kind of middle ground on that where Olympic boxers are not meant to be multi-millionaire professionals, but they need to be like the best of the amateur circuit. So you can be someone that goes through, has a lot of amateur fights and has a lot of experience, but like they generally tend to want to go, or they tend to pick like people that are not crossing that threshold into Don King fucking, high profile crazy numbers,
So losers.
The best of the amateur circuit, so to speak, right? But anyway, all this aside, like I'm just like, if you're putting those words out there, if you're speaking violence into fruition, right? You better come correct with it. And if you want to put the little garlic sauce on top to this whole little thing, when I was asking Reggie, I was like, so what are the places, like, what do you remember, right? What's going on in Ottawa that they're getting so, big about this? And he's like, there was a really good place that had great shawarma in Ottawa. I remember them. I was like, yeah, what were they called? Montreal Shawarma.
That's so fucking funny.
The name of the restaurant.
That is the funniest possible ending to this story conceivable. That is like.
Can you imagine?
That is the kind of punchline that if you wrote it that way would come off like shit because it's so on the nose.
I can't.
But since it's real, it's perfect.
I can't imagine having to say that out loud to somebody as you're defending Ottawa shawarma. And
what's your favorite? What's your fucking pizza joint? What's your favorite pizza joint in Chicago? Oh, New York style pizza.
Right? So with a straight face, you gotta fucking say that shit. Like, mwah, beautiful.
Oh, that's great.
I love it. Oh, God bless. Habibi.
Oh, that's amazing.
I love it. So yeah, that's what's going on. You come with your fucking shawarma takes. You best watch the fuck out. And I'm gonna find out what's going on at this Dunya spot and see what's happening. Give it a fair shake. But yeah, just that's more to be continued.
Hey man, that's so fucking That's so fucking funny. Oh my god. Oh, that conversation is over. That is a done deal.
But
Let
hey,
me ask you a question.
our nation's capital, though, they got a nice lawn.
I don't want to hear I don't want to hear nothing from Ottawa. It's got Parliament is very pretty.
They got a nice building,
very beautified,
nice lawn, and their hockey team is they're anyway. All right, whatever.
It's about like I think Victoria is a little prettier personally. That's the capital of BC out here. It's on Vancouver Island. It's gorgeous. But yeah, Ottawa's very pretty, and the politicians go there.
I was gonna say, like, the team is called the Senators. Like, that's your team is like literally, you know. But it's one of those spots where guess what? How many? Hey, Americans, how many of you thought Toronto was the capital of Canada? Be honest. Just
be honest.
Show of hands. Right? Because I feel like that's a common regular mistake that happens, because they're like, oh really? That's the city everybody talks about. That's the one I
don't know, man. I think that's like genuinely unfair. I'm gonna actually go to bat for our Yankee brethren here, because
DC versus
city
state
that matters is so consistently not the capital of wherever that it's crazy.
Because times change and
New
populations.
York City isn't the capital of fucking New York State. Shut up. That's a trick. That's a fucking trick.
It's because when the founding of it occurs versus where the people move over time, you know, it tends to change. But yeah, that's the thing is like, and Ottawa's not even in the top 3, you know?
No, man.
So
there's 4 cities in this fucking country that matter. Fucking Toronto, Vancouver, Montreal. You can swap them around however you like, depending on what you value. And then the fucking governments in Ottawa.
Yeah, Calgary's out there.
Yeah, whatever.
You know, that's I'd say that's on the list, but still.
They got steers and hats and shit.
Yeah. Solidus says Edmonton, spoken like a true fucking Ontario kid. All right.
No one would ever say
we're not gonna
no one in this life.
Does Manitoba exist? Can you prove it?
Wooly?
can you prove
one
it?
Paige and I drove through the prairies, had there not been a fucking sign denoting, hey, this is prairie number 1, this is prairie number 2, fucking nothing. Just couldn't be just fucking 1,000 kilometers of featureless terrain.
I have nothing against Manitoba, but I also have nothing Manitoba. Like
for Manitoba.
It's just
it's
I learned
nice
in
and
school that it exists. This is true.
It's a nice clean rectangle.
Mm-hmm. No, it's not. That's a Saskatchewan. Manitoba's the one that has the extra on the side because it's attached to Ontario.
Oh fuck! Dude. Okay, fuck, dude. When I said the prairies,
God, you thought I was talking about Saskatchewan?
No, it's worse. I fucking forgot Saskatchewan existed entirely. I thought it went Ontario, Manitoba, Alberta, BC. I just deleted the fucking entire province from my mind.
No, that's our Wyoming. That's the rectangle. You know,
bro. No one gives a shit.
Oh boy. All right. Yeah. And yet,
hey,
and to be fair, my Wyoming opinions are learned from Garfield and Friends that years ago. So
it's wild because like I'm married to Paige, right? And she's from the States, and like I'll mention a state and she'll have like a really incredibly intense opinion about that state that I don't know literally a single detail about at all.
Yeah.
And I'm like, why do they say Skibbity Riz, Ohio? And she's like, oh, fucking Ohio. I'm like, why? What?
Yeah.
And like she can't even like get it out. It's just this like oppressive vibe.
Like, oh, are you a masshole? Are you from Massachusetts? You call yourself a masshole, are you? Yeah, there's a lot of local shit, and I feel like the most important information we've learned about states we don't know anything about is when Pornhub put out that search bar.
Yeah, I mean, that's interesting information.